Hi, everyone. Welcome once again to another session where we would be discussing Africa and the metaverse and the metaverse in general. Um, with me here is Ahmed Arowosegbe. And Ahmed, would you like to go first and introduce yourself?
Hey, thank you so much, Tosin. Really excited to be here talking about the metaverse. So my name is Ahmed Arowosegbe. I have over 5 years experience in the 3D industry and also in the XR industry. And XR, I mean, I work with augmented virtual and mixed reality. And I'm also a software engineer um, in a company trying to develop the metaverse.
Thank you very much, Amit. It's really nice to have you here. And I am Oluwatosin Ogunyebi. I am a game developer with a knack for the extended reality space and the metaverse in general. Currently, I'm an associate instructor at an AR/VR bootcamp, and I am also the co-founder at Africacomicade, a platform to celebrate African creatives across the games, comic, XR, and film industry. It's really nice to be here once again, Amit, right?
Awesome. Really excited to be here.
Yeah. So, speaking about the metaverse, right? There's so much going on right now across the, tech industry, from augmented reality and virtual reality to so many other industries, all talking about the metaverse. So, I would like to start by asking, okay, what is the metaverse itself? What exactly is this buzzword, the metaverse?
No, I mean, tell you interesting. See, most time, like when I think about the metaverse, and the metaverse is a 3D space, right? That can be accessed, from any kind of platform, right? So if you develop a 3D space that can be accessed, from web, from mobile, from either a VR headset, that's a virtual reality headset, AR, or an augmented reality headset, right? But it's the metaverse itself, in that 3D space, where we sort of like want to interconnect a lot of things, with it. So you have people there doing stuff, buying stuff, trading stuff. So it's just doing a space that is interconnected with a lot of ways to access it. But again, I'm also like looking at to say what do you think on your end about like what the metaverse is?
Yeah, coming from a gaming background, I think the metaverse has really shown us that the world is moving and it's rapidly changing, because I see the metaverse as the immersive internet. It's not something that is going to leave us anytime soon. It's going to be here for a very long time. Why? Being that it's more of us moving the internet into a virtual world. And I think that's what the metaverse is really about. And with the advent of new technologies like the blockchain and so many other things, AR, VR, more inventions, more headsets coming into play. We have so many things that are making the whole metaverse buzz much more interesting. So yeah, the metaverse is basically the immersive internet, which you can access via extended reality headsets, like the Oculus, various AR headsets as well, and even virtual worlds. Things like Fortnite really showed us what the metaverse could look like. So yes, we have quite a number of places you can go to now, and really interact with people, and not just do that, trade like you said, Ahmed, and do so many other stuff. So yeah, the metaverse is quite interesting to talk about.
Now, and it also like even speaking about the metaverse, right? I feel, I mean, we know the future, but the kind of technical challenges we have currently now trying to build the metaverse, is really infrastructure heavy. And so I sort of like I don't see a single company, owning that space. It's going to be, you know, what are the open standards, that we could create in that space, because like it's so big that it will be hard for a single company to say, I mean, he or she wants to own that space.
Yeah, and speaking of a single company owning the space, I know there has been this general assumption amongst the public that Facebook recently, who changed their name to Meta, kind of owns the metaverse because of the Meta name. It's not true at all, because just like you said, the metaverse is huge. It's just like an advanced internet. Nobody owns the internet. The internet is so wide, just the same way the metaverse is. So it's not just for one person. Currently, as we speak, we are talking with you guys, speaking to you guys from a metaverse as well. You can see our digital avatars in a digital space as well. And I believe this is one way in which we are really going to be interacting in years to come. Microsoft is working on things like this. Facebook is working on things like this. Nvidia is what so many big tech companies are working on, creating virtual worlds that have huge level of interactivity inside them. So it's not just one man's business. I think the metaverse is the internet for us all, but just making it much more immersive. So I don't think it's just one person's um, idea.
Exactly. It's really it's really interesting because like the fact that you could be anyone, be at any place, and then still have that connectivity is for me is one thing that that I feel makes the metaverse itself like really key. Because I think sometimes early this year, like when that's like early this year, late last year, when COVID was still at its peak, right? Then there was this event I went to attend, and then I could just go to a virtual space, right? Have that event, right? I don't need to spend money trying to travel from where I am to the new place. I just like be in a virtual space, and I even though it was not like 100%, interaction, collaboration, and discussion, but I could still enjoy 80% of that. Right? It was still the same way we talk, we laughed, we enjoyed, and for that just really like showed me like what this means in the future. It means that you could be anywhere and then you could visit any place. Like you could be at you comfort, you could be in your house and then you could literally go to anywhere.
Exactly, very true. It really improves connectivity with others from across the world. The internet has brought us together. The metaverse is making us as close as possible. So, one interesting movie you might want to watch for people who love movies is Ready Player One. If you really want to see metaverse in its full potential, I feel like we are still years away from that, what we saw in that movie, but it really kind of shows us what the metaverse could look like in years to come. So, let's move on. I mean, I would like us to, talk about the craze about the metaverse itself. So, um, why is it the buzzword everywhere right now? What's really going on?
Yeah, I mean, like Tosin, if you look at it, from like just a user standpoint, the balls will be there because when you look at the likes of Facebook changing their name to Meta. You have Microsoft coming out and saying that, hey, we're going to do this in the metaverse. You have Epic Games doing the same thing. You have Unity making a stand to in for the metaverse. You have Nvidia working on the Omniverse. You have the likes of Balenciaga, doing stuff in the metaverse with Fortnite. You have Nike coming out doing the same thing, right? And this is just like, you know, some of those small brands, and I mean not small brand, but some of this the small number, right? Just like just a handful of number of people that are just coming to be that space, right? And then when you look at these big companies taking a step, in that industry, they know that there's something good that's happening here, and that is why that buzz is there, and I think it's valid for the buzz to be there.
Yes, very true. We are still at a very early stage of adoption for the metaverse itself. So I believe this would be a really, really good time for companies to join in and see how they can as well leverage on the stage at which the metaverse is currently, because we don't have so many people building yet. Even for extended reality tools, extended reality technologies in general now. You don't have enough developers there. Now, talking about building for the metaverse itself, there's going to be a high shortage of developers um, in months to come, and people will really need to build stuff. So, what opportunities do you see? What opportunities lies there for people who are looking at getting early into this metaverse buzz? What do you think?
No, I mean, I think opportunities there is that like like the metaverse is, you know, as we follow the trend, it's also similar to the internet, right? So from development, to project management, to technical documentation, to the strategy part of it, to the business part of it, like in 1,001 like rules that could spin up right from it. So it still is in its early infant stage, but opportunities actually immense. So I just suggest that people looking for opportunities in this space should start to look at, okay, first get an angle of what the metaverse is exactly, and then try to see how they can fit what they're trying to do, and then fit it into it. Like, I mean, one of
Yeah.
such opportunities would be the fact that we're starting to see a lot of like virtual malls, right? So like where people could come in, purchase digital fashion wears, and I mean, and they're actually making money from it, right? So they spin up like some markets with it, and then people will come buy their clothes, and then you see people. So now people are no longer. I mean, these guys don't. I mean, no longer design physical clothes, but now they design for virtual clothes. They just sell it for avatars, right? And that's like a new market that has emerged, this year, and it's really interesting to see. I mean, what that will be happening in the next years to come.
Yeah, that's very true. So now, speaking of virtual malls, let's talk about real estate, the different opportunities available within the metaverse. Recently, I saw a tweet where someone said Chipto now has a store in Roblox. Roblox is also a virtual world where people can like go into and connect and play games. And you could order for food inside the metaverse and get it delivered to your actual location. When I was speaking about the metaverse being the immersive internet, that's basically what they just did there. They took it a step forward from you having to pick up your phone and go to their website and order for something, to you going into the game and you could see like their store in the virtual world and just walk in there and order what you want to get and get it in real life. So this shows us the various opportunities available within the metaverse space. And we currently have some metaverses live right now, the likes of Somium Space, we have Decentraland. And I saw a news recently about a land that was sold on Decentraland for about $2.4 million. And I was amazed that how how did that happen? Like, it just shows us that there's value in this whole metaverse buzz, and you can really get on it now that it's still in the early stages. So, what do you think about this? How can the metaverse itself help economic growth?
So Tosin, like if you look at this like critically, right, what you said about the whole and stuff, right? So I mean, if we move into this next phase of the internet, which we call the massive internet, right? You mean that you could have a virtual land, and you could build like your actual virtual building in it, right? But this building you're building, you know, would probably cost you like like zero infrastructure in terms of like ad resources, right? And then you just have that building there, right? You don't need to worry about like the resource running out as compared to you buying cement, buying blocks in real life. And this is just something that makes the virtual world really interesting, because you could run things 1,000 times without worrying about like what that would look like. I mean, you could have like a reception or a customer service center, for example, and then you probably don't need to worry about like overcrowding, because you could create like you know infinite instance of that space. So again, economic impact or economic value for the metaverse is just the next trend for the internet, which we call the massive internet. So really it's going to be, what we can do currently now with the internet, but in a more immersive ways. And I know I'll just start to like redefine some of those experiences. So yes, thank you, Tosin. But I'm eager to hear your thoughts on it. Like, what do you think are the economic benefits for the metaverse?
There are so many of it, but one thing I would like us out there to know is just the same way the internet has brought people together, it has helped businesses grow, it has helped businesses have a new audience, a new set of customers. That's basically what the metaverse is going to be doing too. But this time around, it makes all those experiences much more immersive and much more safe. The benefit of us having the metaverse with the advent of Web 3.0 is having decentralized information. So that way, it really helps a lot of customers. Like, a business or a company would have all their information because they purchase things from them. With the advent of the metaverse and being on the blockchain as well, it really helps to keep every user on the metaverse. It helps to keep their data private. So that's one advantage of it. Then in terms of economic growth, it would definitely increase the rate at which e-commerce goes because for example, imagine you didn't have to go to the store to get some of the things you need. Imagine you didn't have to like scroll through your mobile phone to order for stuff. You could just be walking around and be selecting the things you need. It creates this new fun and immersive adventure, even for customers as well. Then it would be used a lot in training. I think training is one way whereby the metaverse is going to be really useful and help the economy as a whole because one, the cost of having some trainings, for example, if you want to, go to, let's say, an oil rig for people in the petroleum industry and learn it, it really becomes difficult because it takes a whole lot of money. But with the advent of the metaverse and VR, you can easily do that to save costs as well. So one thing I'll just like you guys to know is it really helps to improve the economy in so many ways. And I believe the metaverse is yet to stay and it would really help us grow a better economy. Thanks, Ahmed.
Awesome, awesome. Really nice one. There. To say again, I mean the benefits, the economic benefit for the metaverse is huge because as again as you said, it's just more like the next trend for the internet. Again, that's immersive internet. So it's really going to be what we can do currently with the internet, but in a more immersive and an engaging way. Yep. And I guess yep. Good tossing. Yeah, I'm done over here.
Yes, so and with that, I think we've come to the end of this. There are so many opportunities out there for each and everyone to partake in, and this is still the early stages of the metaverse itself. So it will be nice to up on right now and get to build products and services for the metaverse as soon as possible. Thank you all so much for staying with us. Have a great day ahead. Bye.